Me, Jenn the Taxidermy Witch, and we're talking about hoodoo in bed. It's late at night, as you can see, and we are reading out of Hoodoo by Monique Siedlak. I hope that I'm not butchering her name, so apologize if I did, but I really, really love her book. It's really short, it's simple, and we're reading the whole thing in bed this evening, chapters by chapter or chapter by chapter. Some videos have more than one chapter, but this one will just be the chapter 8 on sweetening jars because it's got quite a bit to it. And so there's some to say. Let's just get on. So chapter 8, sweetening jars. Sweetening jars are a type of jar or bottle spell that is used to sweeten someone up to you, as in become nicer, willing, or offer kindness to you. These spells can be used in court cases in which you want the judge and lawyer to take your side over the opponent's side. They can be used to reconcile with a family member, friend, or lover. You can use them for sweetening a new romantic interest toward you. You can use one to sweeten your boss to get a new job. They are simple jar spells, but they are sometimes slow working. Maintaining them with the consistent burning of candles on the jar lid is helpful in serious circumstances. I really suggest that anytime that you do that until the working happens, because it will just speed the whole thing along. The benefit of these little hassle-free items is that you can use one jar for months or even a year effectively. When you are finished with the jar, give it an appropriate burial in the front yard, east direction, or in a potted plant. The kind of candle that goes on top is not significant as much as what goes on the candle and in the jar. On the candle meaning what you would dress it with or anoint it with. You can use pillars, tea lights, tapers, or vigil candles. They are all suitable picks depending on your style and the kind of work you are doing. Decide on the suitable color for your working and use the universal white candle. A white candle is to a clear quartz is to the word all-purpose, okay? Select the appropriate hoodoo oils for your candles and pick the herbs, curios, and hoodoo powders to go inside of your jars. Decide on an odd number of ingredients to go inside the jar. The honey counts as 1. So when you have your number of ingredients, it needs to add up to an odd number. So if you have an even number, you need to either add something or take something away. It's part of the working, alright? The honey counts as 1. Some root workers use syrup. You could use agave. You could use something that's sticky and sweet, right? So brown sugars, white sugars, or caro, which is like super thick syrup, like basically sugar syrup. That's a fucking word for it. So that counts as 1. So those are replacements, though, if you don't have honey. It says, I use local honey from a friend. That would be so witchy. So would raw manuka honey. It's amazing in magical workings. This is my preference, and I'm a big tea drinker. I never really liked coffee, she says. That's not me. I love tea and coffee. The jar ought to be glass and have a metal lid, so your basic mason jar will work excellent. You will be burning candles on the top and plastic would melt. It needs to be metal. It should also have a tight-fitting top so the wax doesn't leak into the process of the jar, okay? After you have filled the container with herbs, tag locks, and if you don't know what a tag lock, it's something that is the person, so either a picture of them, a piece of their hair or nails or DNA, a used napkin that they used, something that locks them to you. And if you have nothing, then just you could draw a picture of them and write their name on it. You could just write their name. But a tag lock really needs to be something that's tagged to that person that you can put in a jar. You can literally, when you see somebody blow their nose and they throw it in the trash, that's an amazing tag lock, really. A brush in their bathroom that's full of hair, Okay, honestly, that's how I get my items for witchcraft, and I'm just being completely honest. You just wash your hands and put it in a plastic bag and write with a Sharpie on the outside, nose blowing on this date from so-and-so at work that you need to do a sweetening spell on because they're a dick to you or whatever. No edit button. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. My bad. Okay, so after you have filled the container with herbs, taglocks, prayer papers, and so on, secure the lid, agitate, and churn the jar. You can heat it up by melting wax over the lid so the candle can stay on top without falling off. So you would drip a little bit of candle onto that metal lid, a little bit of wax on that metal lid, place the candle down so it stays secure. Then light your candle when it's stuck on it. Be sure that you don't have a candle that is too large. So a great one is one of those like chime candles they call them. They're great for candle magic. They're about this big and about as round as, a little smaller than as round as a dime, and you light them and they burn for about an hour. Then light your candle on it. Be sure you don't have a candle that's too large. The accumulation of wax on the jar will keep a wick burning too long. And you could actually break a glass jar with too big of a candle if it was like too hot on top. Prompting the honey within to be too hot and to dribble out of the jar. Make sure that you, from time to time, inspect the size of the wick. Yeah, don't leave it alone. Plus, you need to be sitting there with your intention. Like, obviously, if it's a candle that burns for 5 hours, you might not sit there with it the whole time, but you still need to definitely keep it with you, keep an eye on it. Yep. Every so often, check it is inevitable that you will get some kind of leaking from your honey jar. This is when you should switch your jar to one that is a better fitting lid. To make your petition, get a 3x3 inch square paper. You can use approximate colored white paper. You can use appropriate colored paper or white. If your paper is too large, gently just rip it to size. Do not cut with scissors. It's important that it is ripped with your hands on all edges, okay? Put that in your Book of Shadows and Grimoire because I didn't know that until just now. Write your target's full name, or as much of it as you know, or if it's a judge, you can get a case number if you don't know the judge's name, but you can call and ask your lawyer. I've done that many times for clients. I've just called their lawyer and said, was this the name of the judge? You can usually get it from somebody. You can even look it up sometimes with your case number, okay? So, just get as much of their name as you can, or write their full name if you've got it, and odd number of times like this. So let's say their name was Acme Cement. You would write Acme Cement 5 times on that square piece of paper you ripped by hand on all of the sides, okay? Turn the paper 90 degrees to the right. Now write your full name the exact same number of times as your target's. So we used it 5 in that instance. Your name will basically be written over theirs on an angle. So when you switch it to a 90 degree, it goes over theirs on an angle 5 times, right? Oh, this is fun. I'm having fun doing this with y'all. Turn the paper 90 degrees to the right. Now right, yeah, right, we did that. So your name 5 times, Mary Jane Johnson. Or Jenn the Taxidermy Witch, right? Around the outside of the names in a complete circle without lifting your pen and in cursive. This is so important, otherwise you have to start the whole thing over. Write out a command that corresponds with the spell you are doing, such as, and they've written it here so that you can see they want it all to be connected. Like a hashtag. Opportunity work wards, opportunity work wards, opportunity work opportunity work rewards. Opportunity work rewards. Opportunity work rewards. Remember, don't lift your hand. Don't cross the T's or dot the I's until you have finished the circle around the names and you have linked the last letter of the last word to the first letter of the first word. This is so important. Once this is done, you can lift your pen and cross your I's and dot your T's. Sorry to say that if you lift the pen before finishing the circle, you have to start the petition all the way from the beginning. Okay? And that's alright. If that happens, then it means that that just wasn't meant to be. It's a practice one. Just set it to the side. Give thanks because it is okay. Take a breath and try again. I'll need to work on my cursive for hoodoo, won't I, for these sweetening jar spells. Smear the paper with the appropriate oil, followed by sprinkling the hoodoo powder on the paper. Then add herbs and charms in the middle, making sure that the paper will close up. So don't add too many or too much. You need to make it be able to close. If you find the paper to be too small, make a larger square or paper. State your intention, same way, ripping it all on the sides. State your intention out loud, and then fold it in the direction of you, so toward you, because you want the sweetening to come toward you. The direction of you in half. Turn the paper and fold it again toward you. When you do banishing spells, you better be doing this away from you. So in hoodoo, it's important the direction you fold it, you know, all these little things really make sense, okay? Hoodoo in bed, baby. Where are we at? Where are we? This book is really great. Add honey to the jar and then your petition paper. Wait. I've got to go back. State your intention out loud. Take a dollop of... Okay. State your intention out loud and then fold it in the direction of you in half. Turn the paper, fold it again towards you, and fold it a third time towards you. Take a dollop of honey and eat it while stating your intention again. Add honey to the jar and then your petition paper, followed by any herbs, powders, or charms or curios into the jar and close the lid. Using a colored candle, and I would add to it and I would blow, after I've said it, my honey's been in my mouth, I would blow my air into that jar before I close the lid. That's just a little part of me I add to it, and you could do that too if you want. So, using a colored candle suitable to the situation, put a little drop of oil in the candle and dress it. Dressing a candle is stroking oil on the candle towards you, covering the entire candle for attracting. So, like that. You would rub it on like that. You would stroke away to repel. So for a banishing, you're going to wipe the oil on the candle like that. Or to repel or send away. You could also sprinkle some of the powder on it. Or just roll it in the powder. That's easier than sprinkling it on. Burn the candle completely down and repeat this for 7 days straight to build up its strength. After this time, you can go to 3 or 4 times a week. After 2 months, once a week should be sufficient. If you need to go quicker, then continue at 3 times a week until you begin to feel a change. It sounds like a prescription. It totally is. When witches help you, you need to do the upkeep. You need to drink the water like the massage therapist says. You need to take the medicine in your antibiotics regimen just like the doctor says, or it won't work. These spells and workings, when a witch gives them to you, either you have to do the upkeep or you have to pay them to do the upkeep. You know that fertility jar? I told the person the upkeep and they're like, I don't think I could do that. I said, okay, well you can pay me to do it. And they're like, would you? Yeah, absolutely. So that's something I can do and help you guys with. That infertility spell, that big egg working that was so cool. I'm actually happy to have it in my studio. I love it. I was so adored of it. And that egg glass jar, it's just so cool. And eventually I'm sure she'll take it home, like when she's feeling like, when she goes into menopause, right? Then she can take it home. Alright, so let's get back into this book. Sorry we got off on that little tangent. Note, tag locks are usually hair, nail, photo, etc. of the petitioner. It is a normal practice to include an odd number of items in this bag, like we talked about. Okay, so now the options that we've got, she talks about a honey jar spell for a new job. Items needed: honey, petition paper, So we're counting that as an ingredient, of course. I don't think we're going to count... Oh, we're counting the jar. Okay. Taglock, lodestone, magnetic sand, green candles, High John the Conqueror oil, dirt from a place representing a job search, bowl, small jar, use any odd number of combination of the following herbs according to your intentions. Cinnamon, ganglel, 5 fingers grass, patchouli, devil's shoestring, chamomile. Grains of paradise, gravel root. Burn a candle for 7 days straight. Then reduce to 3 times a week until job is obtained. See, it's a prescription. Once it is obtained, store the jar in a safe place or bury in the front yard or a potted plant to set by the front of the house. Okay, next we're going to talk about a jar for love. Items needed: honey, petition paper, tag lock from the person, right? 2 lodestones, one for you and one for the target. Pink or red candle, small jar, desire me oil, come to me powder. Use any odd number of combinations of the following herbs according to your intentions: lovage, gardenia, rosebuds, coriander, lavender, vanilla, balm of Gilead, ginger, dahmania, catnip, deer's tongue leaf, tonka beans, cubeb berries, violet. Alright, money jar, items needed: honey, mercury dime, pyrite stone, lodestone, petition paper, tag lock, candle, small jar, money drawing oil, money drawing powder. Use any odd number of the combinations of the following herbs according to your intentions: cinnamon stick, clove, gangle, 5 fingers grass, allspice, peppermint, basil, pine, cedar, sage. This honey jar is made to sweeten and draw money to you. This jar works really well if you work them at least once a week. Ideally, every day would be better. That's what I mean. If you have the time to have these on your altar, light them every day, even if it's just a tea light on top. A tea light is 2 cents if you get them at the dollar store, because there's a count of 50 for $1. That's 2 cents a piece, right? So you're just, in the morning, spend 10 cents on 5 jars or whatever, you know. You can do it if you break it down with tea lights. And again, these offerings to your altars in Hoodoo can be as small as a tea light and a little glass of water. And a picture or something on the floor. Clap, clap, clap. Alright, shake the jar daily and pray your petition. That same petition that's inside of the jar, how you've written it, yeah? After the candles burn out, you can keep the jar going by burning votive or tea lights on top of your money jar. I've not read this. Reading it for the first time. My intuition is good, you guys. I am happy to be here with you in bed talking about Hoodoo by Monique Siedlak. So come back with me, Jenn the Taxidermy Witch, while we talk about Chapter 9, which is, how many pages? This is like 4 pages on Hoodoo spells and charms. Alright, see y'all in a little bit. Bye-bye.